I just heard something coming towards me, and all of a sudden leaves just started dropping with absolutely no wind.
We found two sets of footprints, not like a Sherpa foot, not very long, 8 or 10 inches, but very, very wide with a huge toe. So we recognized them as something different.
Hey everyone, today's video is going to shake you to your core. Brand new footage has surfaced showing what may be the most elusive creature on Earth, Bigfoot. Witnesses share chilling encounters that defy explanation. And fresh evidence keeps piling up, haunting footprints, eerie howls, snapped branches deep in the woods. From spine-tingling sightings to jaw-dropping proof, buckle up, this deep dive into the unknown is about to get wild. Get ready for a mind-blowing dive into Bigfoot with Cabin in the Woods gripping interview, featuring Dr. Jeff Meldrum, a PhD anthropologist and primate locomotion expert. This isn't just talk, it's a scientific showdown, packed with stunning footprint analysis and hair samples no hoaxer could fake. Meldrum's expertise will make you rethink everything. Host Robert hypes Meldrum's credentials and his bold claim of ironclad proof through detailed footprints and suppressed hair evidence. Sparked by the 1968 Patterson-Gimlin film, Meldrum's obsession drives him to dissect tracks like those in the Redwoods video.
And I kind of expressed that. He said, well, should any new evidence come to light, would you be interested? Well, of course. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, and so sure enough, literally like 2 months later, I get this call. And the short of it is there was a piece of video footage known as the Redwoods video, sometimes affectionately referred to as the Playmate video.
Meldrum drops a bombshell on the Redwoods footage, spotlighting a mid-tarsal break, a flexible foot trait unique to great apes, not humans. This crystal-clear detail flipped his skepticism to belief. In Washington's Blue Mountains, Meldrum and tracker Paul Freeman find tracks in fine, clay-like soil, a perfect canvas. These aren't just prints. They show toe slips, pressure ridges, and that mid-tarsal break. Meldrum's anatomy expertise spots knuckle prints and a butt print, proving a living foot, not a fake. The talcum-like soil, packed with wildlife tracks, rules out hoaxing, making these casts pure gold.
You expose these meters-thick deposits of glacial loess. It's like talcum powder in a flour. It's extremely fine. So over there in the blues, were simply graded trackways, or tracks, graded roads without any gravel improvements. They made excellent track beds. When they were wet, the soil was very clay. That fine particulate soil made a very clay, almost a gumshoe type of mud.
Meldrum spots imperfections in tracks, toe drags, tension cracks, that Freeman missed. To him, these scream great ape mechanics, not human fakes. Then, a shocker, these Blue Mountains tracks match Yeti prints from China's Qinling Forest, with identical mid-tarsal ridges years apart. This global link, predating Meldrum's work.
Dr. Meldrum is describing in great detail this extremely specific anatomical feature, the mid-tarsal break, and the resulting mid-tarsal pressure ridge found in many of these purported Sasquatch footprints. But how can we even know what a morphologically accurate mid-tarsal pressure ridge looks like in the footprints of an unknown and unclassified species?
Meldrum unveils hair samples, parallel-sided, blunt-tipped, 65-micron strands with acellular medullary canals, unlike any known species but consistent from Alaska to Texas. Labeled indeterminate and ignored by studies like Brian Sykes's Oxford project, these hairs scream primate to Meldrum, who slams science's refusal to face game-changing evidence. This thrilling interview, fueled by Meldrum's razor-sharp analysis, weaves footprints and hair into a bold case for an undiscovered primate. From the Redwoods' mid-tarsal marvel to the Blue Mountains' dynamic tracks and mysterious hairs, this isn't just talk, it's a call to face the Sasquatch mystery head-on. Brace for a thrilling dive into Oregon's wild Umatilla region with Rocky Mountain Sasquatch's electrifying clip. This sharp segment unpacks viewer-spotted clues from a rugged, shadowy forest, teasing a Sasquatch lurking in the dense wilderness. Get ready for a heart-pounding chase through cryptic glimpses that'll glue you to the screen. A keen-eyed viewer catches a chilling moment from RMSO's earlier Oregon Bigfoot video. Picture a brown head, eyes glinting, and a face-like shape peering over bushes near a dark, cave-like rock formation. It's so subtle, you'll rewind to catch it, but it screams Sasquatch, blending into the foliage with eerie, cryptid stealth, gone in a flash. Another viewer's pulse races spotting a curved brown shape, maybe a head, nestled in a green patch between rocky outcrops. As the footage zooms out, it vanishes, ruling out a branch or rock. It's classic Sasquatch. The team cranks the clip 250%, sharpening the trees and bushes where this squatchy figure hides, daring you to lean in and decide what's lurking in that rocky maze. This is Umatilla, a Bigfoot hotspot echoing Paul Freeman's legendary 1990s Sasquatch footage from the same mountains. Viewer-spotted clues, a face-like shape, a shifting head, match Sasquatch's knack for vanishing into natural cover. Stabilized, magnified footage makes these fleeting hints pop, pulling you deeper into the enigma. It's not definitive proof, but the eerie glimpses and Umatilla's storied past fuel the hunt. Fueled by viewer passion and meticulous analysis, this clip invites you into the heart of the chase. Face-like shapes, vanishing figures, and the region's haunting Bigfoot legacy keep the mystery burning. Oregon's rocky, tangled wilderness, steeped in tales of unseen watchers, sets the perfect stage for a creature that thrives in shadows. So, grab your magnifying glass and dive into this chilling clip. Can you spot the Sasquatch in Umatilla's wild depths? Buckle up for a spine-chilling chase. In Animal Planet's video, Cliff Barackman and Bobo Fay storm the frozen, mist-veiled Himalayas, hunting the abominable snowman. With tough Sherpas and eerie village tales of a shadowy beast, they uncover haunting howls, strange tracks, and a heart-stopping eyewitness account that'll grip you tight. Cliff links the Yeti to Sasquatch after a villager spots it feasting on frogs, a weird clue tying these creatures across continents. Is this omnivore ruling the Himalayas' brutal peaks? Bobo and a Sherpa trek into a desolate Yeti hideout, where ancient legends whisper of a beast in the shadows.
Because Yeti call, they heard something respond.
What do you think that was?
Maybe Yeti.
Maybe Yeti?
Yeah.
Bobo's primal Yeti call pierces the fog, answered by a gut-wrenching roar from the jagged peaks. "That's no human or animal I know," he mutters, voice shaking. The Himalayan silence throbs with a hidden presence, lurking just beyond the mist.
These leaves make it hard to see.
Yeah.
Cow. It's all cows.
We found 2 sets of footprints, not like a Sherpa foot, not very long, 8 or 10 inches, but very, very wide with a huge toe. So we recognized them as something different.
At a lake steeped in Yeti lore, Bobo and his Sherpa find eerie footprints, 8 to 10 inches wide, with toes unlike a human or bear. Unlike Sasquatch's big toe tracks, these stand apart, sparking chills.
Look at.
Yes.
Come here. Yeah, stop. Look.
Oh.
Toes.
Yeah. The Yeti.
You think so?
Yeah. This one is the Yeti.
You think that might be Yeti?
Rain blurs edges, but the Sherpa's tales of ancestral sightings ignite the find.
So we have Nuri Sherpa. Namaste, Nuri Sherpa. Huh?
And this is where it happened.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It was in the wintertime, right before sunset. I was walking the trail home, by myself, carrying vegetables from my farm. I came to a bend and saw the Yeti only 15 feet from where I was standing.
Yeti or bear trick? The question burns.
I'm gonna put a scale item down there. Till I get the tape measure.
Nuri Sherpa's story hits like a thunderbolt. Hauling potatoes on a desolate trail, he locked eyes with a 6-foot, dark gray beast just 15 feet away. Broad, hairy, no bear or human. Both fled in a flash. Cliff backs Nuri's raw, untainted tale, cementing the Yeti's elusive mystery.
Could you have him describe what the creature looked like, please?
कस्तो देखिन्थ्यो अरे
छोटो यदि थियो अनुमानले डर लाग्यो अनि डर लागेपछि त राम्रो हेर्नै पाएन नि
Dark gray.
I know some of the other villagers have seen bears in these hills. We just want to make sure, at that distance, is there any chance that it could have been a bear or even a person?
बा त्यही छ कि भनेर डराउँदै थियो बारी त्यो बेला
This pulse-pounding episode weaves chilling cries, Bobo's tracks, and Nuri's encounter into a thrilling Yeti hunt. Battling icy peaks with Sherpa wisdom and tales of a beast stalking the fog, the team fuels the enigma. The Himalayas' ancient whispers, eerie footprints, and fleeting glimpses dare us to ask, what's really out there in those frozen heights? Buckle up for a heart-racing plunge into the wild with Travel Channel's Expedition. Bigfoot Segment 4. Huge creatures close in on Maria. Set at Hidden Mountain Lake's shadowy forest, this nighttime hunt is pure suspense. Russell, wielding a drone for heat signatures, joins Ronnie and Maria, who stalk the north and south sides with thermal gear. Their plan? Drive any Sasquatch toward the lake's edge, using high-tech surveillance to catch the elusive beast in this cryptid hotspot.
Russ, I just heard something coming towards me, and all of a sudden leaves just started dropping with absolutely no wind. Have you seen anything?
Maria, that's a negative. I've not seen anything. It's no surprise that Maria is already getting a lot of activity on the other side of that lake.
Maria steps into the dark, and the forest erupts. Footsteps crunch nearby, branches fall with no breeze. The rugged terrain and near blackness make every move a gamble. Ronnie hears noises charging toward the water, and Russell orders a 200-yard safety buffer. Those heavy, cunning sounds scream Sasquatch, lurking just out of sight.
I can only describe it like a black silhouette walking past.
Maria, I'm going to ask that you separate yourself from the water and go further towards the tree line and get away from that water a little bit more.
Russ, I'm hearing something to my left. I heard it again, and it's moving very quietly.
I'm getting the impression that it's trying to stay hidden. It's possible that whatever it is tracking you. Back further out of that area and report back to me.
Tension spikes as Mireya spots a massive black silhouette gliding past. No heat signature, just pure stealth slipping through trees. It's watching her, she feels, stalking with Sasquatch cunning. The forest tightens its grip, her heart pounding.
This is the biggest heat signature I've ever seen. It's huge. And now there's another one to the left. There's multiple creatures walking over there.
Using the high-powered thermal binocular.
Through thermal binoculars, Mireya catches a bombshell. Multiple huge heat signatures, 100 yards out. Peeking like curious giants. Russell's drone locks in. A massive signature confirms at least 4 creatures. Then 2 vanish, leaving the team rattled by how close these giants might be.
I think I see you.
Fantastic. Ronnie has made his way to Maria, which, in this case, when you have that much activity around you, there is safety in numbers. I can't see them through the thick canopy, but I'm glad they found each other.
Hey, let's see if anything's there.
I don't think we're alone in these woods right now.
Terror spikes. Mireya hears rustling right beside her, thinking it's Ronnie, but he's a quarter-mile away, crackling over the radio. Russell orders retreat. The dense canopy blocks his drone, leaving her vulnerable. Ronnie races to her, but the rustling persists. When he arrives, Russell warns, "You're not alone." The air hums with unseen titans circling closer. This high-octane hunt blends cutting-edge thermal tech with raw suspense. These big, smart creatures, peeking from trees with eerie intelligence, match Sasquatch lore perfectly. The tangled forest fuels the thrill, every sound a clue. This isn't just a chase, it's a chilling face-off with the unknown. Are these shadowy giants the Sasquatch? This gripping clip leaves you questioning what's out there. Brace for a chilling plunge into Canada's wilds with Cephosaurus's Discovering Bigfoot. Dropped on October 27, 2017, to hype Todd Standing's documentary, this electrifying compilation sharpens blurry Sasquatch footage into a heart-pounding thrill ride. Enhanced with a haunting forest soundtrack, and backed by experts like Dr. Jeff Meldrum and Dr. John Bindernagel, it's a sharp jab at skeptics, pulling you into the shadowy world of a creature too real to dismiss. Picture Canada's dense forests, likely British Columbia or Alberta, where dark, beady eyes glint from tangled undergrowth. The footage catches eerie Sasquatch-like faces lurking among branches, their sharp gaze alive and watchful. It's a spine-chilling hint that something's out there, perfectly hidden in the wild. Stabilized clips zoom in on the magic. Subtle eye flicks and head tilts pulsing with cautious cunning, pure Sasquatch style. Snowy mountain shots reveal those same piercing eyes, stark against icy peaks, blinking with eerie intent. The crisp stabilization makes every contour feel so real, you'll feel locked in a stare-down with a forest giant. The stabilized footage shines. Lifelike blinks and gentle head shifts scream authenticity, impossible for a hoaxer to fake. Forest clips show creatures scanning with sharp intelligence, melting into trees like ghosts. Snowy scenes amplify their majestic aura, every move popping against the wild, icy backdrop. No new evidence, but the razor-sharp stabilization turns fleeting glimpses into a front-row thrill. Every twitch and blink drags you deeper into the mystery, daring you to ask, is this Sasquatch? The focus on subtle details makes these creatures feel alive, majestic, and just out of reach. This gripping compilation isn't just a video, it's a call to face the unknown. With meticulous enhancements and a nod to science, it brings Canada's Sasquatch to life. Lean in and ask, what's really watching from those dark woods and snowy peaks? Brace yourself for a chilling trek into the frozen heart of Canada's untamed bush. In the winter of 2018, Randy Brisson, a seasoned outdoorsman, ventured into the wilds near his home, armed with nothing but his courage and a camera. What he captured would send shivers down the spine of even the most skeptical cryptozoology fan. Picture this: a snow-dusted forest, eerily silent except for the crunch of boots on frost. Randy, drawn by strange guttural sounds, pushed half a mile into the dense bush. Then it happened. He heard them. Not animals, not the wind, but voices, low, rumbling, and unmistakably primal. He hit record, capturing snippets of what sounded like a conversation from another world. The audio is raw, haunting, and impossible to dismiss. As he stood frozen, the forest erupted. Trees crashed, screams pierced the air, and whoops echoed for a grueling 15 minutes as Randy made his escape. This isn't just a video. It's a pulse-pounding glimpse into the unknown. The next day, Randy returned, as he shared in the comments of this video. The forest was dead quiet, as if the chaos of the night before never happened. But then he found them. Tracks, massive and unmistakable. One measured a jaw-dropping 19 inches, another 15 inches, pressed deep into the snow. These weren't bear prints or human footprints. They were something else, something that moves with purpose through the wild. The sounds Randy recorded are the stuff of nightmares. Not quite human, not quite animal, they weave through the trees like a warning. The whoops and screams, paired with the violent cracking of trees, paint a picture of a creature, or creatures, that rule the forest. It's not just the audio that grips you, it's the raw fear in Randy's quick retreat, the camera shaking as he hikes out. The tracks, the sounds, the sheer intensity of the encounter, it's hard to brush off as a trick or mistake. Bigfoot hunters have pored over every second of this footage, pointing to the otherworldly vocalizations as evidence that something roams these woods. Skeptics might laugh, but the clarity of that haunting audio begs for answers. Could this be the Sasquatch encounter that tips the scales? One thing's certain. Randy Brisson's video keeps the legend alive. Brace for a chilling plunge into Florida's Green Swamp with YouTube channel, Legend of the Wilderness's Bigfoot Expedition. They come in at night. Filmed at McNeil State Park along the murky Withlacoochee River, investigators Chris Connor, Chris Reinhardt, and Joey Bruce dive into the dark, armed with night vision, thermal cams, and a laser grid to hunt the elusive Bigfoot. Get ready, this swampy thriller grabs you and won't let go.
All right, out here at McNeil State Park, Green Swamp, Florida, doing our camp out. I forgot my camera to put on top of the truck. We've got Chris Connor here. Here's our little setup we got. There's Chris Reinhardt and Mr. Joey Bruce. So we've already got a couple, a knock and a couple howls maybe.
As the team sets camp, the swamp's eerie pulse spikes nerves. Wood knocks echo through tangled trees, howls slice the humid air, and strange splashes ripple from the river. Classic Bigfoot signs screaming something's watching. The green swamp, teeming with wildlife and cloaked in inky darkness, turns electric, every sound fueling the hunt for a creature thriving in the shadows.
All right, hopefully we'll get some more action and turn the sucker back on. We're gonna stay till tomorrow morning. Ooh, there was something there.
That was something.
What was that?
Right when the plane was coming over. You hear that?
Yeah.
A sharp noise cuts the swamp's hum, distinct from a plane droning above. Chris and Joey's gear spikes as their camera catches a wild, darting light, too erratic for any aircraft. This oddity sparks whispers of otherworldly interference, a hallmark of Bigfoot hotspots. With high-tech tools primed, the swamp's creepy vibe hints at something far beyond gators or owls stalking the night.
Oh, okay. So what happened last night? Pretty much this was typical McNeil with the knocks, the pops, the splashes in the creek, just general things going on around you. That's McNeil. And it was pretty much like that most of the night, with the exception of when we went to bed.
A loud thwack, like something slamming the tent, jerks the team awake. Morning reveals a stick by the tent, with no trees above to blame. From a vantage point, they piece it together. Something might have chucked it from the tree line, a classic Bigfoot move to spook or signal. The swamp feels alive with unseen eyes.
You'll see other small sticks on the ground, just like this. And that one's a pretty close match to what we found over there. And then if you come around, we checked for footprints. We didn't see any footprints, and there's a little bit more of a little bit of a root structure with some more debris right there for small sticks.
No footprints? No problem. Rain and debris could hide tracks. Joey's glimpse of high eye shine, taller than a deer as he left camp, amps up the mystery. Compasses glitch, and an elevation reading bizarrely plunges from 300 feet to 80 feet below ground, defying logic. A sci-fi-like hum, sharp and sourceless, adds to the weirdness. Footsteps, thrown sticks, and tech failures mark McNeil State Park as a hotspot for the unexplained. This raw footage captures the team's grit, blending cryptozoology with hints of something stranger. Packed with knocks, splashes, and bizarre glitches, this video keeps the Bigfoot hunt alive. The team's tech-heavy approach and sharp eye for subtle clues show their drive to uncover truth. Set in the haunting green swamp, this gripping segment leaves you wondering, what's really lurking in those murky depths? Hold tight for a pulse-pounding plunge into Washington's Gifford-Pinchot National Forest with the Salish Sasquatch crew. Near Mount Adams, a Bigfoot haven, their annual campout unleashes eerie sounds and cryptic clues. Get set for a thrilling chase through a misty wilderness pulsing with secrets. It's 3 a.m., pitch black, and the forest erupts with a freaky whack-whack thump slap, like a Sasquatch slamming tree trunks.
And then you start hearing this whack, 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 thump, slap, whack, whack. And it's just, it was as if something was just, I don't know, beatboxing on the tree.
It's in a tree. So about 3 in the morning. Gonna review the audio later, and I'll be definitely sending it to you guys.
This chilling rhythm rips through the silence, igniting goosebumps in a region drenched in Bigfoot tales. Something's lurking, and the team's hearts are pounding. The crew hits Monster Mountain, where past howls, brushed off as coyotes, felt wrong. On a crisp morning trek, Larry and a pal catch single knocks every 40 seconds for 15 minutes, paired with a low, eerie hum. These sharp sounds bounce through a huckleberry-rich basin, a Sasquatch smorgasbord. Thick woods and jagged terrain make it a prime hideout for a crafty creature.
We were hearing knocks, just single knocks, about every 40 seconds or so. And it was going on for about 15 minutes.
Yeah. There was also a low vibrational knock. Remember that? Or whatever it was, more of a percussive, low vibration type of sound. We couldn't really figure out what that was. The knocks were really clear.
And then Damon and Ed came and investigated that area later and heard the chest slap sounding.
Went down there.
Yeah.
Damon and Ed, scouting nearby, hear booming chest slap-like thumps just 50 feet away. The steady pounding runs 7 to 8 minutes, pauses, then restarts. Curious, not aggressive. Caught on tape, it's like a Sasquatch is staring them down from the shadows.
So I think there's just something is living there on a regular basis. Next thing you know, we hear a wood whack. And we're like, what the heck?
We both looked in that direction.
It was real obvious. Yeah. And it was quite literally like 50 feet away from us, just on the other side of these trees and these bushes that were right there.
Night amps up the chills. An 8:30 p.m. vocalization, human-like yet feminine, shifts to an owl-like hoot in one breath, 4 to 5 seconds of pure weirdness heard camp-wide. No recorders caught it. A crushing blow. Doug hears branches snap at 7 p.m. while cooking, then snaps a photo of a shadowy figure on a lone walk.
So our friend Doug O'Reilly was on the trip at the beginning, and the day he was leaving, he took a walk by himself in the morning away from camp. He said he was about 3/4 away from camp, and he heard something down below breaking branches, so he snapped a photo. Here's that photo. We're gonna return in a few weeks with Doug and rule out a stump. Hopefully it's not a stump, and if it is not, we will get a good idea of the size of this figure.
3 TAZ cam recorders, set by a high mountain lake known for yells, snagged an 18-second vocalization at a bone-shaking 580 hertz, analyzed by expert David Ellis. That's raw, primal power, screaming unclassified primate from miles off. From thumping beats to haunting howls, and Doug's eerie photo, This campout paints a forest alive with mystery. The crew's clever recorders and sharp instincts tap a Sasquatch hotspot. No clear proof, but these knocks, vocals, and that shadowy figure keep the Bigfoot hunt burning. Dive into this wild clip and ask, what's stalking those misty woods? Get ready for a heart-pounding trip into Ohio's Wild Salt Fork. On March 4, 2012, a rookie drone pilot launched a casual flight and captured footage that set the cryptozoology world on fire. Their buzzing drone skimmed over twisted trees and rugged hills when it stumbled on something extraordinary, something that would leave even veteran Bigfoot hunters speechless. Slow the footage and get ready to lose your breath. From the dark forest emerges a towering, shaggy figure, easily 7 feet tall, wrapped in matted brown fur, moving with eerie, otherworldly grace. This isn't your usual grainy Bigfoot clip. The figure is shockingly clear, every deliberate step screaming Sasquatch. The drone, floating just above the treetops, caught what the pilot never saw live only later while reviewing the footage. And here's the kicker. The drone's battery died minutes in, a chilling detail straight out of Bigfoot lore. Coincidence? Or something in those woods messing with the tech? Salt Fork's shadowy woods are a Bigfoot hotspot. Remote trails and deep silence make it the perfect hideout for something that loves to stay hidden. Locals and cryptid hunters talk about strange howls, quick flashes of movement, and other unexplained happenings that keep thrill seekers and skeptics coming back. The slowed footage reveals the creature's fluid, almost ghostly movements as it slips through the trees with the finesse of a master escape artist. The creature's steps fade as the drone keeps flying. Where was it going? What was it doing? The shaky, unedited video makes it feel even more real. This isn't a movie trick. It's raw footage from someone with a drone. People have watched every frame. They see the tall shape, the rough fur, and the sudden battery failure, something many Bigfoot stories mention. This clip isn't just a video. It brings the Bigfoot hunt back to life. Salt Fork is already known for strange sightings, and this clear footage is hard to ignore. Skeptics may laugh, but the detail and timing are hard to explain. Could this be the proof Bigfoot hunters have wanted for years? One thing is sure, this video keeps the mystery alive. Have you ever sat alone in the woods at night and felt the silence turn heavy, like something unseen was listening? That's where Jared Bear takes us in this story. Back on the same ground where he's had tents attacked, rocks thrown, and glowing eyes spotted in the dark. This time, he returns alone. No partner, no backup, just him, his fire, and the deep night of Bigfoot territory. He begins in daylight, walking toward the lake bed. The air feels calm, but the history of this place lingers with him. Strange sounds, shadows moving, a cinder block once dropped on his tent. All of it pushes at the edge of his thoughts. Still, he keeps his tone light. He points out arches across the trail, signs he believes could be linked to Bigfoot. He even finds prints along the muddy ground, wide paw marks that spark questions. Are they wolf, coyote, or something much larger?
Did I just see... I swear I just seen something moving down there. Oh man, this place gets so creepy at night, man. I'm getting nervous. But it did look like I seen something move. Because the lake, the light behind it. Like it was on the other side of the hill, but I could see it moving. There's a voice.
The forest offers surprises at every step. Feathers, a glove half buried in leaves, a shell that looks out of place. Little details that remind him, and us, that nothing here is simple. Every find feels like a message, though he can't quite tell what it says. As the sun falls, the mood changes. He sets up camp, preparing a fire and a meal that he jokes will chum in whatever roams the forest. The smell of cooking meat drifts into the dark. He keeps the camera steady, reminding viewers to watch closely. And then things begin. There's movement in the tree line, shapes shifting against the fading light. Knocks echo like wood striking wood. At times there's a clank, metal against rock, out there where no one should be. He hears steps, slow and heavy, circling.
So we are running out of daylight a little quicker than we were a couple months ago for sure. Whoa! Watch where you're walking. So there seems to be like a lot of action.
The deeper the night grows, the more intense the activity becomes. A scream rises through the silence, followed by a howl that answers from farther off. Jared's tone shifts, nerves breaking through his calm words. He admits every hair on his body is standing straight up, yet he holds the camera, whispering what he sees and hears. Eyes shine back at him from the darkness. First one set, then another, glowing, vanishing, reappearing from different spots. The firelight flickers, smoke shifts, and for a moment he feels surrounded. The eyes linger, and then a flash of light appears deep in the trees, as if someone is there with a torch or a flashlight. But he knows he is completely alone. He crawls into his tent, trying to calm himself, but the sounds continue. Knocks, whistles, a scream that jolts him all over again. His own whistle seems answered by something unseen. He stays low, quiet, listening.
Whoop!
Something brushes near the tent wall, followed by a heavy thud, as if a rock or branch had been dropped just feet away.
That was a clack. That was a clack. What was that? That was a clack. That sounded like it could have been by that bent tree.
The night stretches long. His nerves are tested with every crack and call. By 4 in the morning, the activity fades. The woods finally grow still. He decides it's time to pack up. No big finale, no proof in hand. Just hours of mystery, unease, and questions that don't fade when the sun rises. So what did he face out there? Animals moving in the dark? A stranger with a light? Or was it truly the presence people say lurks in these woods? Bigfoot, Dogman, or something we don't yet understand? The forest never explains. It only leaves us with moments, with sounds, with shadows that refuse to leave the mind. What do you think Jared experienced? Was it imagination, or did something real step close to his fire that night? Some places are known for their wildlife. Others are whispered about for something far stranger. Deep in Florida's forests, legends speak of the skunk ape, a creature many believe is the southern cousin of Sasquatch. For years, stories of this mysterious being have circled around campfires, old news reports, and late-night talks. But what happens when you go searching for it yourself? On this night, Omar from Omar Gosh TV set out with his friend Mo Sargi, hoping to uncover proof of the skunk ape. But instead of simple answers, they stumbled into something much more unsettling.
Here's the thing though, the last time I came out here was during the day. Sasquatch, supposedly the skunk ape that's here in Florida, comes out at nighttime. There's bobcats.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You told me about Sasquatch, but not a bobcat.
Not only bobcats, but there's panthers, bears.
What?
And the last time I was here, I did catch an alligator that's in the nearby lakes.
Bro, I'll have a little tiny knife with me.
We're gonna be okay though.
The plan seemed easy enough. Ride bikes through the woods, shine their lights, and keep ears open for anything unusual. Omar had been here years before, meeting a man who devoted his life to proving Sasquatch was real. That Memoy Sargiri stayed with him, and tonight, curiosity pulled him back. The forest felt alive in every direction. Bobcats, panthers, bears, even alligators. Florida's wild is no joke. And yet people say something bigger walks these trees at night. Could it really be true? Not long into their search, strange noises cut through the quiet. Heavy steps Moe sargived through the brush. A grunt echoed close by. Both men froze, listening. Could it be a hog? Or was it something far larger? Seconds later, glowing eyes flashed from the ground ahead, then vanished into blackness.
There's like some eyes glowing right there on the ground.
On the ground, right?
Yeah. Oh, let's get closer. It disappeared.
Yeah, let it go.
Unless it was a big spider.
It's possible, but wow, it just disappeared. Look at this. There's Spanish moss everywhere. That's creepy.
The deeper they went, the stranger things became. Scattered in the brush lay objects no one expected to find. Children's shoes, old teddy bears, a Scooby-Doo pillow, even Legos. Why were these things out here, far from any homes or campsites? Some looked weathered, as if they had been here for years. What do you think? Were they just leftovers from someone passing through? Or is there a deeper story hidden in this forest? Then came the Mo Sargiment that made both of them stop cold. Ahead in the dirt lay something pale, almost Sargist bone-like. Omar's camera caught it just as the light hit.
That looks like bones.
Where?
Look, straight ahead.
I seen that with the tip of my eye, but I was trying to get close.
Is that a pelvis?
It might be, actually. Look, all the way over there.
Wait.
There. What? Look at the disturbance here.
That's from hogs, wild hogs.
Okay, so we got wild hogs, we got alligators, we got,
What is that though?
I'm gonna go find out. You think there's any gators in here?
Absolutely. Look at that in the water. There's like a whole basket.
See what they found. Was it animal remains or something Mo Sargir? The forest did not grow quiet. Mo Sargir grunts followed, closer this time. Something was pacing them. Omar admitted he wasn't afraid of Sasquatch itself. But wild boars? That was another story. And here in Florida, boars can appear without warning. As their flashlights dimmed, so did their sense of safety. One bar left, one mistake away from being lost in total darkness. The toys, boys, the noises, the flashes of light between the trees, all of it raised the same question. Were they being watched? By the end of the night, both Omar and Mo Sargi agreed they needed to return in daylight. The forest was holding its secrets close. But one thing was certain. What they found was not what they set out for. Searching for the skunk ape had led them into something far more sinister and mysterious.
Here's the thing. When people are usually living out in the woods, you'll see garbage. I mean, that's garbage, but no, you see a different kind of garbage, food garbage, things like that. It's very strange to see all these kids' toys and a kid's shoe. Bro, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff over there, like white stuff. We definitely have to come back here during the day and check it out. Let me know here in the comments if you think we should explore this. I'm going to keep my camera rolling, while we keep exploring through the woods.
So now it's your turn. Were these signs of the Florida skunk ape? Or did Omar and Mo Sargi uncover something no one has explained? Let us know what you think. Have you ever driven a lonely road and felt the world shift, even just for a moment? The trees stay still. The air doesn't change, yet something else stirs, something bigger than the silence. A shadow moves, then disappears, leaving only the uneasy thought that you weren't alone. James lives on the Olympic Peninsula, a place rich in rivers, ridges, and deep forests. He's no stranger to the land. He fishes the salmon runs. He knows the old trails that wind through cedar groves and over mossy stones. One spring morning, he was on his way to the gym when the ordinary broke apart.
The neighbors, I knew the neighbors down there, and the one neighbor wasn't even there when this happened, because I thought maybe it was them, but when I drove by, they weren't there. Now, they could have been in their vehicle. Come over this way.
Oh, sorry.
There's a pile of something you don't want to step in.
I see that. Thanks for that.
You got it. And that's fresh.
Driving down Mary Clark Road, he saw something cross ahead of him, large, dark. The kind of figure that makes your stomach drop before your mind can catch up. Then, before he could even settle on what he'd seen, another, smaller figure darted beside it. Two shapes, moving quick, then gone. James didn't stop. The ground was hard, the road too firm to hold tracks. But the image stayed with him. In town, other stories echoed his own. A UPS driver recalled an afternoon when something tall crossed the road and hid behind a speed sign. A childhood friend once stumbled on a 17-inch print near a creek. He swore he felt eyes on him the whole time he stood there.
Because there didn't look like a place where they would leave prints, and that was. But anyways, I saw that, and that kind of really intrigued me. And plus the fact that I had talked to the UPS, my UPS driver, who said he's seen something cross the road just not far from that spot, right where all these houses are. And he said he was coming down. It was in the late afternoon, evening time, and it was in September.
Back at James's property, small things began to stand out. By the river, 3 rocks suddenly appeared, touching each other as if placed with purpose. A vine maple was shoved over with no storm to explain it. And the following spring, not far from where the rocks had been, James came across an elk lying dead. Its lower jaw was broken clean, too clean. These weren't accidents. They felt like signs, subtle, unsettling signs.
And I looked for other tracks and couldn't see any, but it was the left foot, and it was headed right into some thick stuff. Not really huge trees, but we'll go down there and I'll show you where that is. But so that's what got me going on what I'm thinking, oh my God, they're probably right here, you know, they are right here. And then I got I had 2 years ago, I went down to Pacific Beach for a get-together, and it was during the Memorial Day weekend.
Then came the sounds. James once heard a whoop deep in the trees, sharp and rising, that froze him in place. On a 4th of July night, others described hearing loud, baboon-like calls after fireworks cracked the sky. And always, the land offered food. Salmon pushing upstream, berries ripening, elk moving through the brush. Enough to feed something large. Enough to hide a presence that doesn't want to be found. James isn't chasing fame. He doesn't push his stories. Instead, he points quietly to what's there. Tracks, nests, odd patterns. He marks a place where the details keep returning. He lets the evidence speak for itself, as if to say, the forest holds its own truth.
I think it was not very far away, 200 yards. It was very distinctive, and it sounded feminine to me. And
I see you doing, Shane. He's grabbing it.
Berries. So yeah, and then I called back and I never heard anything again, but I've heard weird stuff up there, large stick breaking things, which weren't elk because they weren't around.
Do you see the pattern in these fragments? Or are they just the ordinary workings of the wild, given shape by our imagination? Deep in the forest, something massive moved. Not an animal, not a person. A shape, on the thermal lens, too large, too upright, too deliberate. Dr. Mireya Mayer locked eyes on it first, just a shadow at the start. But then it stood up, tall, solid, and watching. She wasn't alone, and neither was the team. The footage from Expedition Bigfoot on the Travel Channel captured it all. See for yourself. Watch this part right here.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yep. Ronnie, that thing is back. Oh my God. Ronnie, it's standing up. Ronnie, can you hear me? Ronnie, can you hear me? Ronnie!
Maria.
There's something moving over there.
That heat signature? That's no ordinary wildlife. They tracked the heat, but what they didn't expect was how many there were. 4 enormous signatures moved just beyond the tree line. They weren't fleeing, they were circling, pacing, heads poking from behind trees, almost like they knew they were being watched. Suddenly, the signatures began to vanish, fading, shrinking, dissolving into white orbs of light. One by one, the forms shifted until they were just small, glowing spheres, as if the creatures weren't walking away, but transforming. Watch this clip closely, right here.
Don't see it with my flashlight. But this heat signature is so big that it's coming through a huge shrub.
How big does it look?
Is it on? It's getting smaller. It's getting smaller. And the bottom part is looking more and more faint and transparent.
So it's literally changing shape before your eyes.
It's changing shape. It's getting smaller and starting to disappear. Hold on. No.
It's impossible to explain, yet there it is on camera. Shape-shifting silhouettes dissolving before their eyes. Then came the sounds. A high-pitched whistle, long and sharp, echoing through the woods. No coyote, no known animal. Just a chilling, melodic call no one could identify. As the team stood frozen, every hair on their arms stood straight up. Something was moving around them, staying just out of sight, yet always watching. The forest wasn't empty. It was alive with presence. Something was following them, and it wanted them to know.
Ronnie, what was that?
I don't know. I've never heard anything like that. Ever. That was crystal clear.
There's no way that was a coyote.
That had more of a whistle, long-term whistle.
But it wasn't just heat signatures or eerie whistles. The ground held its own proof. Russell Acord made the discovery. A line of massive barefoot prints in the mud, pressed deep and wide. 18 inches long, clear heel strikes, toes splayed perfectly in the dirt. No human had walked this remote stretch barefoot in the dead of night. The tracks didn't just walk, they emerged directly from the water, as if something heavy climbed onto shore, paused, then headed straight back into the forest. Take a look at this.
Straight up right now. Something has moved through here. Oh my, look at this. Holy, look at that. That is a footprint.
You'll see it. That footprint isn't just big. It's impossible to fake at that scale. When the full team arrived, they followed the tracks. A trail that led from riverbanks deep into dense brush, each print spaced with a stride far too long for any human. 16 inches, then 18, leading straight to the tree line. It was clear. Something enormous had passed through, and recently. See the moment, right here.
Here's where it gets really strange. Tell me what you see in front of me.
Oh my God.
These are fresh from last night. Whoa. If you look in the water behind it, looks like an impression in the water back here. Ooh. This thing literally appears to have come out of the water and onto this bank. These toes are crystal clear.
Oh my God.
Look at where we are right now. What are the odds of somebody walking through here with bare feet?
Right.
And look just above it.
The stride, the depth, the sheer size, undeniable. Multiple creatures on thermal, strange lights, sounds that don't match any known species, and enormous footprints. It's no longer just a story whispered around campfires. The signs are there, and this time the cameras caught them. But the bigger question remains. What creature walks on two legs, vanishes into light, leaves colossal prints, and whistles from the dark? A voice answers back, not from a person, not from any known animal, but from something ancient, something to watch. It happens while the camera's rolling, while footprints are being documented just feet away. You hear it. A low, deliberate vocalization cuts through the quiet, captured in real time by Sasquatch Ontario. No static mic, no overnight recorder. This was live, present, proof. See for yourself, right here.
How to heel is not very big. 9 inches?
I don't know. I think it's the same individual back and forth here. Except for this one. Look at this. I gotta get the tape. Oh no, I got the tape measure right there. Okay, hold on. Let me
I don't even know. I'm just standing over here.
Okay. There's one right there. Oh, I can kind of see the trackway. Alright. Okay, stopping this for a moment.
The Ninyanin vocal rings out like a warning and a welcome all at once. It wasn't the only sign. Lying just ahead, a single footprint pressed into the earth like a signature. Not just any print, 21 inches long. The big guy, as they call him, had been here 2 nights in a row, and this was his mark. The impression was deep, wide, and undeniable. No mistaking it for an accident of nature or a misread animal track. This was deliberate, powerful, evidence of something massive. Take a look at this.
There's a single adult print and the rest are all the young ones. No, I think that's the same one. Same individual doing this trackway here. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that's with Neff, that one, that's 1, 2, 3, that's 4 family members showed up tonight.
That footprint tells a story all its own. The shape, the width, the defined toes, all there, speaking to something more human than animal. As they kept moving, more prints appeared. Tracks from multiple family members, each different in size, but all following the same unseen path. The smaller ones interspersed with giants, as if a family group moved together just out of sight, brushing past trees, watching from shadows. They left their marks as if to say, "We're here with you, step for step." Watch this clip closely, right here.
We have company right now. They're throwing snowballs at us. We have one of the adults with a 21-inch footprint. That's got to be 12 feet tall.
That's not the big guy, though.
Yeah, the big guy was 20 inches last time. 20. That's 21 now.
The trail of prints leads through untouched terrain, proof that what's being heard isn't imagination. But it's the voice that lingers. The Ninyanin vocal, captured in the open, reinforces what the native cultures have always said. The Sasquatch are not just physical beings. They are ancient people, masters of consciousness, moving between realities we barely understand. Every vocalization, every print, every shadow confirms that they operate on a level beyond what science dares admit. And yet here it is, recorded, documented, undeniable. The forest may seem quiet, but it listens, it speaks back, and sometimes it leaves proof you can't ignore. See for yourself, right here.
Yeah, that is snowballs from them. And that was a 21-inch footprint and a almost 12-inch footprint. And earlier we had an under
but a 9.5-inch footprint and a 16-inch footprint. And the 16-inch was Neff, which is 4 inches of growth since this all started.
The voice, the prints, the eerie sense that you're never alone in these woods. It's not just tracking anymore. It's interaction, contact, evidence that shifts everything we thought we knew. So the question hangs. If these beings are this close, this present, with knowledge far beyond ours, how much longer can the truth be kept hidden? And there you have it, folks. A heart-racing journey from Canada's wilds to Nepal and its Yeti mystery. From those haunting, blinking eyes in the tangled forests to the shadowy figures peering through snowy peaks, this stabilized footage pulls you right into the heart of the Sasquatch enigma. No smoking gun, but those lifelike movements and piercing gazes, they're enough to make anyone wonder. The line between myth and reality feels blurrier than ever. So, what do you think? Is something majestic lurking out there, watching from the wilderness? Hit that replay button and don't forget to subscribe. And do share your thoughts below. And join the hunt for the truth, because in the untamed forests, the Sasquatch mystery is far from solved.